Hey YouTube, today I will be telling you my review for the recent Jungle Cruise movie by Disney, and this is my spoiler and non-spoiler review. First I'll talk about my non-spoiler, of course, and to say, if you want to go into this movie expecting there to be like Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, that's what it is. I got a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean vibes. It was an enjoyable movie. It's just one of those other Disney movies that you just enjoy, that where they got it from just a plain ride from one of their parks, which is what Pirates of the Caribbean was inspired by. In fact, if you didn't know that, the movie itself, it was good. Like, I enjoyed it. I would definitely watch it again here and there. Maybe if they ever make a sequel. And I would like to say the acting by like Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, they did good. They did good. Like, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, he always does a great job acting. I mean, this is Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I will say is that if one or both of these actors were not in the movie, I probably would not have been as interested because the marketing for this film wasn't the greatest. I mean, that ad with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo was funny, but still, the marketing for the movie wasn't the greatest. I mean, COVID didn't help, of course, but it is what it is. I did see this movie in theaters with the fam. Um, a lot of characters in the movie too, where you're like, wait, what's going on? Like, who is this? Who is that? Like, they could have done better when it comes to the backstory of some of the characters, which I will not say who exactly. The special effects weren't the best, but I've seen a lot worse. Trust me. There was a couple moments in the movie where I was like, okay, you could totally tell that that's special effects, CGI, and all that. But like I said, I've seen a lot worse, and this was not the best, but it could have been better. But it is what it is. Um, Dwayne the Rock Johnson character, his character, there's something happens to his character where you're like, oh wow, didn't see that coming, and I don't remember seeing Jack Whitehall character in any of the marketing footage. Who he plays another character that is related to Emily Blunt's character, Lily, and something happens in the movie where like I can already tell it's gonna piss off a lot of people, which is sad that it will, and I've actually seen comments about it, which makes it more sad. But when I realized that's what his character is, I was like, oh okay, that's what his character is, and it didn't distract me from the movie, and that's what I liked about it. Like, his character is like that. It is what it is. It's fine. And the villain in this movie, they didn't. They were cool. Their CGI was probably the best out of the entire movie. But CGI in a couple other moments was like, all right, you could totally tell that's CGI special effects. This movie is pretty tough to talk about without having to discuss spoilers. So I'm gonna leave my non-spoiler review at the end of that. My rating for this movie, I will say, I will give it a 7 out of 10. Will there be a sequel? Maybe. The way it ended, I could see it happening. There is no end credit scene, so don't waste your time watching the credits with that. And so yeah, 7 out of 10 is my rating. And there could be a sequel. There may not be a sequel. I wouldn't be surprised either way. So I'm talking spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to hear any spoilers, I recommend you leave right now. So if you're still watching, you don't care if you hear spoilers or you've seen the movie already. I will say Dwayne Johnson's character Frank, when it was revealed that he was cursed with like the villains, I was like, oh, didn't see that coming. I definitely didn't see that coming. Cause yeah, I even wondered like, how the hell is he gonna survive that fall after being stabbed and falling that far? And when I saw he survived, I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. And then when they revealed that he was cursed and he's 400 years old and he could survive that kind of stuff, I was like, well, there you go. Learning his backstory was one of my favorite moments actually. When you learn what his character did with the villain, how he wanted to find the uh, the the flower. I forget what it was called in the movie. Um, and when I got a lot of the reason why I say I got a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean vibes is like the villains. When you see like the guy made up of snakes, the guy made of honey and bees. There was one guy that was made of like trees. It kind of reminds me of a lot from Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell no, not Dead Men Tell No. It was maybe a little bit, but more of when Davy Jones and his crew were after Jack Sparrow. Um, One thing's for sure, the Nilo guy that was always like that was saying with the bird that says "Franco's mi money," that he was weird and he was kind of annoying. Like his character was no need in the movie, in my opinion. It was satisfying, I'll say, when he got his boats destroyed. That was funny and oddly satisfying. The prince, the German, was he German? I think he was. In the submarine, when he was just weird and honestly kind of annoying. And there were a couple moments in the movie, like when they were discussing when I'm trying to think of an exact scene. I forgot to take notes for this movie again. There are a couple scenes where I'm just like, all right, can we just get along with this? Can we just go, blah blah blah. Like and one scene when Lily's character's brother, when he had all that stuff with him, and Frank was like, we don't need that. He kept throwing it, and people were just grabbing the luggage for themselves. That was pretty funny. That scene was pretty funny. And the reason why I say there could be a sequel is that the villains technically did not die in this movie. They continued their curse and they went back into the state they were when the prince gave them the river water beforehand. So since they technically did not die, I could see that's why I think a sequel could be made. Maybe not. Like if this movie be could be a big franchise like Pirates of the Caribbean is? I don't see it happening. And that's why I think maybe one sequel could happen, because the villain did not technically die, because he needs to get cured and then killed in order for him to be truly gone and killed off. And it was nice that when Lily had the plant and she cured or lifted the curse on Dwayne Johnson's character Frank. That's all I can remember right now. The CGI on like that leopard, was it a leopard or was it a jaguar? I can't remember. That the CGI on that cat, it wasn't the greatest, but it was cool, and him being pet of Dwayne Johnson's character was nice and cool and all. He's like, "You're the worst cat I've ever had," or "You're the best cat I've ever had." Those were nice scenes. And even when Jack Whitehall's character, when he wanted to pet the cat a couple times, and the cat was like, "Yeah, no," and it was funny too when they're eating the piranhas in that one scene after Dwayne Johnson shot the rat and got all the piranhas, and Lily was like, "This is tasty," and Dwayne Johnson's like, "That's blood." And I even wondered myself, like, if he'd learned a lot about that about the arrowhead, was it, on around Lily's character's neck. He knew the language of the natives on that island, I guess you could say it was, or in that area. Like, he knew it a lot. Like, did he really learn that much that quick? And then when it was revealed that he was cursed and he's almost 400 years old, it made more sense. And that's all I gotta really say about this movie. The movie doesn't have a lot to say about whether it's good or bad. If you want to go see a movie to enjoy, this is the movie for you. It's not a masterpiece, but it's not terrible. IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes are giving it low ratings, which is understandable. But like I said, it's just another movie that was made to be enjoyed. Do not, and if if you're thinking about if you're mixed about seeing it on Disney Plus or in the theater, I recommend going and seeing this in theater. This is the type of movie that should be seen on the big screen, not on your TV screen. It's definitely that type of movie. So yeah, that's all I gotta really say about this this review. And yeah, it's pretty short. I actually expected this video to be a little bit longer, but that's my review for this movie, Jungle Cruise. Like I said, again, will it be a sequel? Maybe, maybe not. I wouldn't be surprised either way. So yeah, that's my review. Again, my rating is 7 out of 10 for this movie. I don't see it breaking my top 10 movies of 2021. We'll see when I'm done seeing all the movies of this year. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you could do me a favor, give this video a like and or subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that too. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.